Hello, hello there, you guys. Welcome to another of my live videos, and I'm just gonna be today updating you on some big more transfer news. Now, apparently now this is regarding Danny Rose from Tottenham Hotspur, because obviously Jose Mourinho is still in search of a few players, and I think at that left back position it is currently still a concern, because obviously I think in that left back position it still needs to be addressed, obviously, but. Yeah, I think that left back, I think Ashley Young, since he's come back, I think he's been a player that's been performing well at that left back position. But we've had four different players playing at the left back position this season. We've had Darmian playing there, Luke Shaw playing there. Luke Shaw hasn't featured much since he's come back into action, after he played for the under-23s and all that, and he'd currently been injured as well. Ashley Young, as I said, but he's done very well. Darmian playing there as well. We've still got Marcus Rojo injured in that position as well at the left back position. So we've had players playing differently there. So apparently this now, if we do get the pursuit of Danny Rose, this could end Luke Shaw's career at Old Trafford, because Jose Mourinho criticised him, especially last season, and he hasn't been in much action since he has currently returned as Luke Shaw. So apparently now regarding Danny Rose from Tottenham Hotspur, he says Jose Mourinho is actually now preparing, and he's convinced he can get Danny Rose he's confident he can get Danny Rose for about £45 million. And we know during the August window that Man United had been interested in Danny Rose. Chelsea had also been monitoring the player as well. But apparently now his preferred destination and move is Manchester United, is Danny Rose, and that's coming from the player's perspective. His preferred move is Man United, and he said he will turn down Chelsea to make the move to Old Trafford. And this is what Danny Rose has basically suggested. So we know Danny Rose has not been in action for Tottenham since January due to his, I think it's a ligament injury or something like that, if I can remember rightly. But he hasn't played for Tottenham since January, and he hasn't played since January. So also Tottenham, have been putting Ben Davies in that spot where Danny Rose plays, and he's been fulfilling Danny Rose's spot, but he could leave Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and he hasn't played this season. Also, as I said, Danny Rose, he has got a deal with Tottenham Hotspur until 2021. I think he signed a new deal back in September 2016. But if you do remember back in the August window about Danny Rose, if you can remember rightly, guys, Danny Rose had made a newspaper interview, hadn't he? And he basically suggested that he wasn't happy. He felt as though he was getting underpaid. He wasn't satisfied with the wages he was receiving at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. He also said he were going to make sure he were paid what he were worth, and there were teams out there that could offer double his current wages, which Manchester United can double his wages. And he said he wasn't happy with his current wage at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And then he also suggested now, there's one big contract left in me, and he said I don't want to go 15 years without one trophy or one medal. And this is what Danny Rose had said in the current interview. But everyone had interpreted what he'd said. He wasn't satisfied with the wages and stuff like that. And then basically, I think it was a day or two after, Danny Rose had he did criticise the club. He did criticise Tottenham Football Club. But then I think a day or two later, he'd actually made apologies to Pochettino, the assistant manager, the fans and everything. He'd made apologies, and the apology had been accepted. But he did criticise the club back in the August window, did Danny Rose. So he's saying Man United are convinced they can get a deal done for Danny Rose for £45 million. Danny Rose, all in all, in the Premier League now has made about 130 odd appearances. He's scored 9 goals in the process. He's made 108 appearances for Tottenham, and he's scored 8 goals. But we know he's a player that's born in Doncaster. He progressed up the youth ranks very well. He's an ex-Leeds United player as well. He progressed up the ranks, but he never played for Leeds United. So he joined Tottenham in 2007. So he's been at Tottenham quite a long time. But since 2007, he's been at quite a few teams on loan, as well as Danny Rose. He's been at the likes of Watford on loan, where he made 7 appearances. He's been at the likes of Peterborough on loan, where he made 6 appearances. He's been at the likes of who else has he been? He's been at the likes of Bristol City, where he made 17 appearances, and he's been at the likes of Sunderland, where he made about 29 appearances in all competitions for Sunderland, as well. Danny Rose. So Danny Rose is a very good generated left back. As I said, he's comfortable. He's good in the attacking third of the pitch. He's a good passer. He's good at holding the line fantastically well. He's Danny Rose. So it's saying Mourinho is convinced he can get a deal done for Danny Rose. Obviously, Tottenham may be reluctant and resisted to offload the player, but Mourinho's convinced they can get him next year. Obviously, Tottenham lost Kyle Walker, also their best, the best generated right back they had to Manchester City in the August window. They got £50 million for it. Tottenham did buy 3 players, in the August window, which was very, very good for them. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But he's prepared to reject Chelsea, and his preferred destination is to Manchester United. He's Danny Rose, as I said, got a deal with got a deal with Tottenham until 2021. Signed a new deal back in September 2016. Hasn't been in action since January due to his injury. But the interview he gave back in August, he did criticise the club, and there's teams like Man United that can prepare to double his wages so he can secure the move to Old Trafford. And this is in a couple of media outlets. It's in Bleach Report, it's in the Metro, it's in quite a few outlets. And I think, with Luke Shaw, who's also injury prone, he's injury prone as well because he's been injured. Never had these problems, with Southampton, Luke Shaw. But I said he played in a Burton game, but he hasn't had much chance to perform, Luke Shaw, since he has come back. And we know in January he's got under 2 years left on his deal as Luke Shaw in the process as well. So I've got a bit more news to update you on, guys. Is about what's his name, Gareth Bale. As I updated you yesterday, it's saying now Real Madrid are willing to offload Gareth Bale for about £89 million. The original fee that they had purchased him for Tottenham back in 2015. This is 5th season now with Real Madrid, Gareth Bale's. But these reports have been stemming since his latest injury. He's just suffered, Gareth Bale. His latest injury is a calf injury. Gareth Bale's. He did miss the Wales and Northern Ireland game. He did miss the Wales and Northern Ireland game, did Gareth Bale, due to his latest calf injury. So he suffered a late calf injury, did Gareth Bale. I'm just going to go downstairs, guys. But yeah, as I was saying, his latest injury is a calf injury. Mr. Wales in a Northern Ireland game, as I said. But now apparently Real Madrid are actually beginning to lose patience with him due to that he's injury prone. He's suffered quite a few injuries, during his time with Real Madrid. And he's saying they're willing to allow him to go to Old Trafford. And the price is the original fee, which is about £89 million that Real Madrid had paid for him from Tottenham Hotspur. But as he said, Gareth Bale has no intentions of leaving Real Madrid. He's been we've been linked with him, quite a long time. Gareth Bale, we've never got a deal over the line for Gareth Bale, and he's not going to be guaranteed a first team spot, is he? With Marco Arsenio, rising up the ranks. There's Isco there as well, so he's not going to be guaranteed a first team spot every game. And as I said, he's a favourable player to be sacrificed, is Gareth Bale from Real Madrid. He's got 19 appearances last season, 7 goals. He's made 5 appearances this season, scored 2 goals in La Liga as Gareth Bale. But I said, highly experienced, got good physical attributes, very, very good cross of the ball, Premier League proven, as I said. He proved it in the Premier League, and yeah, risen up the ranks with Southampton, as I said, did Gareth Bale. He performed as a left-back, and then when he made the move to Tottenham, and Tottenham have just paid £7 million for him, he did very, very well. He become more of an attacking player, scored loads of goals for Tottenham during his 6 years there. Made 146 appearances for Tottenham, scored 42 goals in the Premier League for Tottenham Hotspur. And, he's one of the likes of Player of the Month, I think, on three times, Player of the Month 3 times, PFA, Footballer of the Year, Premier League Player of the Season. And then Real Madrid had paid a record fee of £85 million for him. Obviously, that beat the Ronaldo deal back in 2009 when Ronaldo had gone to Madrid from Manchester United. It was £85 million, and he's progressed fantastically well with Real Madrid. We know he's had injury problems, but when he's been on that pitch, he has performed very, very well. But Real Madrid, as I said, they paid £85 million for him. And, during his time with Real Madrid, he's won 10 honours with Real Madrid. He's made over century appearances for Real Madrid. He's scored about 56 goals now. I think that's just in La Liga for Gareth Bale. But it's saying now Real Madrid are willing to offload Gareth Bale in the process. And it's also very, very good for Wales as well. He made his debut for Wales in 2006. Earned over 60 caps as well. He scored 26 international goals. He's the second highest top scorer, is Gareth Bale. And he's been named the Welsh Footballer of the Year a record 6 times, as Gareth Bale. But very, very good player. Can Man United, I think Mourinho is convinced he could maybe get Gareth Bale. So basically what they're saying is Real Madrid are willing to offload him for around about the price that they paid for him from Tottenham, which is about 85 million or 89 million pound or something like that. So Real Madrid are willing to sanction Gareth Bale off, because they're still looking at quite a few targets at Real Madrid. They're still looking at quite a few targets. As I said, they need to offload a player at least or two to get a couple of their targets that they do want into their club. They only bought a couple of players in the window in August, and they generated a lot of money as well, did Real Madrid. So yeah, Man United have been heavily into him for quite a long time. What else were I going to update you on today? And as I did, I've been updating you on the transfer rumours, in the last couple of days. I updated you about about the Conte situation yesterday, saying apparently PSG are willing to make a 90 million bid for Conte next summer from Chelsea. It says they're preparing to put a 90 million pound bid in, because obviously PSG invested a lot of money in the August window. Obviously they've sanctioned a few players off to avoid financial fair play regulations of Paris Saint-Germain. But yeah, it says they're willing to put a 90 million pound bid in for Conte next summer. Obviously PSG are actually still looking to address their midfield a bit more. Obviously they're still looking to address the midfield at Paris Saint-Germain. But we know Conte, this is only his second season in the process with Chelsea. Chelsea had purchased him for £32 million from Leicester back in 2016. This is his second season in the process. He's got a deal with Chelsea until 2001. Won the PFA as well as Conte's won the PFA. And, he's first player to win back-to-back titles since 92 and 93 when Cantona had done it. But he's currently injured at the moment, is Conte, as well for Chelsea. I think got injured in a France game as well. And he did very, very well for France in Euro 2016, progressed them to the final, did Conte as well. Also was a fantastic partnership with Danny Drinkwater back at Leicester. He's made 79 appearances in the Premier League and he's scored 3 goals as Conte in the process. But, he spent 2 seasons with Shan, Leicester boy, 5.6 million. He only went with Leicester for 1 season, won the Premier League with them. And then Chelsea had paid the first 2 million to get Conte away from Leicester City. But his progression is very, very good. Very, very good midfielder indeed. So we will see what happens about that. And, with the Philippe Coutinho situation, as I do, it's saying PSG are interested in him. It's saying PSG are interested in him. That's obviously Barcelona's main priority target is Philippe Coutinho. It did say they have a slight interest in Dele Alli as an alternative target in case they don't get Coutinho. It's saying Real Madrid have also had an interest in Dele Alli. I think Real Madrid are monitoring an interest in Harry Kane as well. But yeah, as I do keep saying, Philippe Coutinho, very, very good players, become the most creative, agile playmakers, since he's come to Liverpool. It's his 5th season in the process with Liverpool Football Club. He's ex-Inter Milan, ex-Espanyol player as well. And, he's got a 4 or 5 year deal with Liverpool Football Club. And he could still go in January because Barcelona convinced could maybe get a £97 million deal in for him, including Alan as well. Barcelona couldn't get a deal done for him in August. They had £89 million and £140 million bid rejected from Liverpool. Barcelona in the process had 3 bids turned down for Philippe Coutinho. Coutinho has now made over a century appearances, scored 36 goals and assisted 30, which is very, very impressive for Coutinho. But obviously Barcelona couldn't get a deal done, obviously due to that Liverpool owners were not willing to accept any bids. Klopp were not willing to accept any bids for Philippe Coutinho in the process. This is why deal never ever materialised. He scored 14 goals and 7 assists last season as well. Very good, creative, agile midfielder. He's Philip Coutinho. But as I was saying, Barcelona clearly weren't satisfied with their August window. Even Real Madrid probably weren't that satisfied with their August window. Big clubs like that, with loads of money, big clubs like that, big fan base, very, very good history, like Barcelona and Real Madrid, they feel as though, they should be doing better than that in transfer windows. Real Madrid only bought a couple of players. Barcelona did get the likes of Ousmane Dembele, Ousmane Dembele, Nelson Semedo and De Gea, but Barcelona wanted a bit more. They definitely wanted their main priority target, Philip Coutinho, but they didn't get him in the process. It's saying PSG are willing to go for him now as well. I was suggesting also about, David De Gea. It's also saying, in the last couple of days, that's been going around saying PSG could maybe go for David De Gea next summer. PSG also have had a Joao Blanc on their radar as well. Joao Blanc, he's got a release clause of about £100 million as a Joao Blanc. He's got a release clause of about £100 million, and even if David De Gea was to sail, we know that David De Gea wouldn't come cheap. In the process, we know David De Gea would not come cheap in the process, even if we were willing to sanction him off. David De Gea was not yet signed a new deal with Man United. He's made over 2 century appearances now for the club. He's made over 2 century appearances now for the club. He's won the likes of Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup with us, Europa League with us. And it confirmed the PSG director has been in contact with George Mendes, who has strong connections with Man United, about a potential possibility of making a move for David De Gea. But I said he won't come cheap. We'd probably ask 3 times more than the fee we paid for him back in 2011, which was £18.5 million from Atletico Madrid. And he risen up the ranks fantastically well for Atletico Madrid. And I think this is his 7th season now in the process at Old Trafford. And we know Real Madrid have had that strong interest in David De Gea since 2015, due to that fax machine. Real Madrid nearly got a deal over the line in 2015, but due to the fax machine, their pursuit of De Gea had come to a conclusion at Real Madrid. So I think Man United are convinced that he's going to stay at the current club. As I was saying, also, what else was I going to say about the Dele Alli situation? Dele Alli, I think, I don't know if he's going to leave Tottenham. Harry Kane, we don't know what's going to happen with their futures. We're not quite sure yet. With the Dele Alli situation, it's saying Real Madrid have been reportedly interested, because obviously we know Tottenham have done, Real Madrid have done business with Tottenham. They've got quite a few of their players like Modric and Bale and stuff like that. Real Madrid are apparently interested in Dele Alli. I think they're slightly interested in Harry Kane as well. And it's also suggesting that Barcelona have got an alternative interest in Dele Alli as well. And, these are players, that would want to elevate to a higher level, play for a much bigger club, such as Dele Alli and Harry Kane. I think they're happy at Tottenham. I don't think they have any intentions of leaving Tottenham. But as I said, Kane has not ruled a Spurs exit out, as I said. But Dele Alli, as I said, he's one of the best young age prospects out there, as we all gathered. He's one of the best young age prospects out there. He's a Dele Alli, as I said, risen up the ranks fantastically well with MK Dons. Did Dele Alli. He made his senior day with MK Dons in 2012. Did very, very well with MK Dons. Then Tottenham had purchased him for £5 million. Only £5 million Tottenham just purchased him for. And since, Dele Alli made his senior debut in 2015, his progression with the Tottenham team has been absolutely fantastic. 18 goals last season for Dele Alli. He's not far away now in the Premier League. He's not far away now, Dele Alli, of making a century appearances in the Premier League. He's scored about 30 goals. He's had 2 fantastic seasons with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club as well. He's won PFA as well quite a few times. And, he did say he was actually considering changing agents. There's ones available, such as Riley Ola, who has strong connections with Man United, obviously represents Zlatan, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Romelu Lukaku and all that. And George Mendes as well, who also has strong connections with Man United. He said he were considering changing agents, was Dele Alli, but I think Tottenham are still in the process of trying to secure him a contract extension at Dele Alli. And but yeah, he's been fantastic. We know he's been absolutely fantastic since 2015 as Dele Alli. Good, strong, quick, good in the air, good at flying through central areas, passing ability, fantastic, and he's one of the best young age prospects out there. So, yeah, it's Real Madrid have been interested. Barcelona have had an interest as well in Dele Alli, and even if he was to go for Dele Alli, he wouldn't come cheap. Just like with Harry Kane, he wouldn't come cheap. If you were to get both players, that would probably cost you in the region of probably between 350 and 360 million pound. And even if you were to go for one of even just one, especially Kane would probably cost you nearly touching 200 million pound if you were to only do a cash only deal. Especially, and Dele Alli in the region would probably cost 140, 150 million pound for a young player, which is a lot of money for a young age player. But as I said, he's been hitting form in the last couple of seasons with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. But as I was saying, about what else was I going to say? About the Harry Kane situation, as I was saying about him, he's saying Real Madrid maybe could make a move for him. Harry Kane, do really like him for me. As I keep saying, best striker in the Premier League, without a doubt, is Harry Kane. Harry Kane is the best striker in the Premier League. Lukaku is the second best striker in the Premier League. Harry Kane, actually, risen up the ranks fantastically well. He made his senior debut in 2011 in Europa League against Hearts with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Did Harry Kane, he's won Player of the Month about 4 times, hasn't it? Player of the Month about 4 times, I think. PFA, won the Golden Boot last couple of years. Hit over a century goals now in all competitions for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. He's been on loan, at the likes of Leighton Orient, Norwich. Who else has been on loan at? I can't remember. It's Leighton Orient he's been on loan at. I think he's been on loan at Norwich as well. He's been on loan at quite a few teams. Is Harry Kane. He's been on loan at quite a few teams. Yes, I know he's been on loan at Leighton Orient. I know he's been on loan at Norwich. He's also been on loan. Yes, he's also been on loan at Millwall as well as Harry Kane. But yeah, his progression has been absolutely fantastic with Tottenham Hotspur. As I said, 30 appearances last season, 29 goals. This season for Kane, he has got 6 goals in the league. I think about 14 in all competitions. And Pochettino's a very, very good manager. And Harry Kane is, without a doubt, probably elevating to the same level now as Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. That are basically the 2 best players in the world. So it's basically saying Real Madrid have showed, Real Madrid have showed an interest in Harry Kane as well. But he will not come cheap. And as I said, he's not ruled a Spurs exit out as Harry Kane whatsoever, so he hasn't said much regarding his future. But I feel as though he's happy at Tottenham because Tottenham have been consistent the last 2-3 years. They've been good. They've been unlucky not to win the league. They are doing well. They are doing so well at Wembley in the league this season, but their away form is absolutely fantastic. And obviously, they're still waiting for the new stadium, our Tottenham Hotspur, in the process. So we'll see what happens about that. And obviously, as I've updated you on a couple of times, about the Sanchez situation with Alexis Sanchez from Arsenal. Alexis Sanchez is obviously coming to an end of his deal. I think Manchester City are convinced they can get him for £20 million in January. Obviously, he's coming to the end of his deal. Sanchez is refusing to sign a new deal with Arsenal Football Club. There's been a few teams that have been interested. There's been the likes of PSG that have been interested, Bayern Munich, Man United, Chelsea, AC Milan, Real Madrid. There's been quite a lot of teams interested in the player. He was very, very good with Pep Guardiola at Barcelona. He risen up the ranks with underneath, so he's been in Italy before. He's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons with Arsenal. He's now hit over century appearances for Arsenal Football Club and scored about 53 goals. He scored 24 goals last season, did Sanchez. And City nearly got a deal over the line for him. City had a 50 million bid rejected. City initially had a 60 million bid accepted, but obviously they couldn't find that replacement. Lemar was their main priority target to get him. Raheem Sterling could have been part of the deal, but City were reluctant and resisted to offload Raheem Sterling. Obviously, Julian Draxler was an Arsenal target as well. They didn't get him. So this is why they didn't offload Sanchez. But I think City are going to get him for £20 million in January. And Arsenal would rather cash in on Sanchez rather than letting go 3 next summer. In the current process, and he just demanded that he wanted a Champions League football. And this is the first time in 2 decades that Arsenal have not had it. And Arsenal were disappointed with their chance of winning. You know, they did get Lacazette, which is a very, very good signing. We're very, very good with Leon. And he's good that Arsenal is Lacazette, but Arsenal said, you know, they suggested that they needed more than that in the process. But Arsenal are trying to target a few replacements. There's been like the likes of Martial that's been mentioned. He's saying Arsenal have showed an interest in Antonio Martial. Now, about the Antonio Martial situation, I just don't see Man United willing to offload the player, because I think, you know, the Van Gaal, Martial did very, very well. He scored 17 goals that season. He did very, very well. This is his 3rd season in the process with Man United. I think last season he didn't do so well, but I think this season he's growing, you know, he's getting stronger, he's growing, developing into his game. He's already scored 5 goals this season as Martial. 5 goals this season for Antonio Martial. We know he's only started 1 Premier League game. We know he's been trending with Marcus Rashford, but it's good to have 2 young age prospects such as Rashford and Martial in your team. But you can play anywhere in the middle, you know, Martial. He can play anywhere on the left. And this is why Arsenal think he'd be an ideal replacement. Even if he was to become for sale, you know, he wouldn't become cheap, would Antonio Martial, as a part of the deal. So, and he's a player that Man United had bought from Monaco back in 2015. We bought him from Monaco back in 2015, I think it was, £36 million. Well, it was initially £36 million, but it was add-ons included, which are raising it up to £57 million there in the process. I can't see, and I think Martial suggested he's happy at Old Trafford. I don't see Man United willing to offload him for him to go to Arsenal in the process. And we heard the rumour mill the other day also, didn't we, about the line on Messi situation. You know, we heard about the Lionel Messi situation the other day. Lionel Messi, as I said, he actually suggested that Manchester City were willing to put a staggering £358 million bidding for Messi. They've definitely got more chance of getting Sanchez than they have Messi. As I said, I don't believe in much of this story of Manchester City getting Messi. He said they were willing to put £358 million in. It'd be good to see Messi, you know, to be fair, it'd be good to see him come and experience the Premier League without a doubt, Lionel Messi. But I just don't see it happening, even though Messi has not signed that extension yet. He's not signed that extension yet. But according to the Barcelona president, he had suggested out that it's all confirmed, the extension. He's going to be staying at the new camp until 2021. But I don't think he has yet signed that extension as Lionel Messi. We know Iniesta who's got now a contract extension with Barcelona. And Pep's worked with Lionel Messi in the past as well, but I just see Messi staying at Barcelona. I can't really see him coming to make a move to the Premier League. I really can't see it happening, guys, in the process as well. But Lionel Messi, as I said, he's been at Barcelona for 14 years. Won 29 trophies, as I said, you know, won 5 Ballon d'Ors, 4 European Golden Shoes, 600 goals now for club and country, you know, all-time top goal scorer for Argentina. And in the process, you know, best player in the world still for me. He's made 4 century appearances in La Liga, and he has scored nearly 400 La Liga goals now as line on Messi in the process. As I said, you know, won 29 trophies in his career. As I said, you know, won 5 Ballon d'Ors as well as a line on Messi. So I just don't really see it happening, guys, if I am going to be quite honest with you. Also, you know, as I said, you know, Mourinho with the situation with Emre Can, that's been updating, you know, in the last couple of days about Emre Can. He's another midfielder. He says Juventus have been linked to him. He also said a couple of days ago that Man United have entered the race for the Emre Can, because obviously Jose Mourinho is still looking to adjust the midfield a bit more. He's obviously looking for a long-term replacement for Michael Carrick. Obviously, he's not going to be played as a first-team player. He's just going to be used as a backup option now in our midfield is Michael Carrick, and I think he could retire at the end of the season. Emre Can, as I said, very, very good young age prospect, as I said. You know, he's made over a century appearances for Liverpool since he's been there. I think this is his 4th season in the process. In the Premier League, he's nearly made century appearances. scored about 7 goals as a Emre Can. But I think Liverpool are still in the process of trying to secure him a new deal. But I think he's been trying to demand a release clause as Emre Can as a part of the current deal. This is why a deal. This is why I think he's been trying to demand a release clause, but Liverpool not willing to meet this. I think he's been demanding a higher wage as well as Emre Can in the process, but it hasn't materialised yet. But whether Liverpool will sell him in January, let him go for free next summer, I do not know. But he can play as defensive mid, he can play as centre back, he plays full back. Very, very good in Confederations Cup, as I said. Also, very, very good with Bayern Munich. Risen up the ranks with Bayern Munich, played mostly in the reserve team with Bayern Munich. Went to Leverkusen just for the season, and Liverpool had won a few honours with Bayern Munich as well, and Liverpool had paid £10 million for him from Bayer Leverkusen, but he's done very, very well for Liverpool as Emre Can. I said, if Naby Keita especially arrives in January, who they've got confirmed Liverpool, that could see Emre Can then leave Liverpool Football Club, and they could still see Philippe Coutinho go as well in the process. What else is there to update you on the day? And I'm going to update you, with the Antoine Griezmann situation. As I do keep saying now, Man United could still potentially land Griezmann next summer, but apparently now Barcelona could be actually leading the race now for him, because it come out from the Spanish press had actually reported the situation regarding Antoine Griezmann. The Spanish press reported regarding Antoine Griezmann that Barcelona are interested in, and it's suggested that it's Barcelona's now main priority target is Antoine Griezmann. He's a player that obviously we all know he has got a release clause of £178 million, but this does get reduced next summer to £89 million, so it goes down. So it goes half price. So it's 178 million now. Next summer it goes down to 89 million pound. Does Griezmann's release clause, but obviously we need that number 7. We've had it vacant for quite a bit. We haven't really had a good number 7 since we had that Ronaldo there. We've had loads of good number 7s over the years. But obviously during the window, the August window, Man United, we nearly got a deal over the line for Griezmann. We were so close of getting a deal over the line for Griezmann. But obviously this didn't materialise due to Atletico Madrid received a transfer ban. He estimated 6 out of 10 that he was coming to Old Trafford. And he's had discussion with Diego Simeone. This could be his last season now with Atletico Madrid. I think he's been there now 4 or 5 years, has he? Griezmann, I think, scored 28 goals last season. He scored quite a few goals this season. And obviously now, especially with Diego Costa going to back to Atletico Madrid, this could see Griezmann leave Atletico Madrid especially. Did well with Real Sociedad though, that's where he'd risen up the ranks fantastically well. Very, very good for France, very, very good in Euro 2016 as well was Antoine Griezmann. And did very well with Sociedad, won the league with them, scored goals with them. He's scoring goals now for Atletico Madrid is Antoine Griezmann. So, yeah, we will see what happens in the process, but it's saying it's Barcelona's now number 1 main priority target is Antoine Griezmann. So anyway, guys, I think that's mainly everything to update you on today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Subscribe to my channel as always, and take it easy. Tell me what you think to the Danny Rose situation, because this is the main part of this video. As I said, Danny Rose he's preferred move is Man United. He's willing to return down Chelsea, and he's willing to come to Man United. Jose Mourinho is convinced next year he can get a deal done of in the region of around about £45 million to get Danny Rose to Old Trafford. And we know he signed a new deal back in September 2016. We know he hasn't played since January. He hasn't played this season as Danny Rose. He hasn't played this season. In all in the Premier League, he's made 135 appearances, scored 9 goals as a player. And we know what Danny Rose did. We know what he did back in August. Criticised the club. Apologies had been made anywhere, and this had been accepted by Pochettino. And he made apologies to the fans for what he said. He said, he's going to make sure he gets paid what he's worth. He was feeling as though he wasn't getting paid enough wages. He was getting insufficient wages. That's what he felt as though he was getting, Danny Rose. He also suggested, I've got 1 big contract left in me. He said, I don't want to go 15 years without 1 trophy or 1 medal. This is what Danny Rose had said in the newspaper interview he gave back in August. And Man United and Chelsea have been interested in the left back, especially, but he could actually make the move to Man United, and then that could see Luke Shaw fall down the pecking order and probably leave Man United, because in January, Luke Shaw's contract, I think he's just got under 2 years remaining on his contract in January as a Luke Shaw in the process. So anyway, I think we still need to address the left back. I still think we need a potential winger, and then I think Manchester United will be good. So could our next two players be Danny Rose at left back, Gareth Bale at the left hand wing? You don't know, do you? Because obviously now, as it's suggesting about Gareth Bale, Real Madrid are willing to offload Gareth Bale. So you never know. You never know, guys. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes below, as I said just then, and take it easy. And I'll see you all on my next video. Bye.